Hey, remember that chat we had last week when you were torn between buying a pre-built gaming rig or trying to assemble one yourself? I get why you'd pause. Dropping $2,500 on a tower you've never seen in person feels risky, especially when the market is flooded with hype. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's break down the Lenovo Legion T7 34ERS8 and see if it actually lives up to the price tag, or if you'd be better off putting that money toward a different setup. First off, the Legion T7 isn't just another big box PC. It's built around Intel's 13th Gen i9-14900KF, a 24-core, 48-thread monster that can turbo up to 5.8 GHz. In everyday terms, that means you can run a modern AAA title at max settings, switch over to a live stream, and still have enough headroom for video encoding without a hitch. If you've ever tried to stream while gaming on a mid-range CPU and watched the frame rate wobble, you'll appreciate that extra breathing room. The same goes for content creators who edit 4K footage. The extra cores shave minutes off render times compared with a typical i7 or Ryzen 7 setup. Pair that CPU with a GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Super, and you've got a GPU that still sits near the top of the performance curve for 1440p and even decent 4K gaming. The 16 GB of GDDR6 memory means you won't hit the VRAM ceiling on texture-heavy games like Cyberpunk 2077 or Horizon Forbidden West, and the DLSS 3 implementation in newer titles can push frame rates well beyond 100 frames per second on a 1440p monitor. If you're the type who likes to crank everything to ultra and still hit 60 frames per second, this combo is genuinely future-proof for at least the next 3 to 4 years. Now, let's talk storage. A single 1TB NVMe SSD is fast. Games load in seconds, and the OS boots practically instant. However, modern game libraries are ballooning. A fresh install of the top 20 titles can easily chew up 600 GB, leaving you with less than half a terabyte for other apps, media, or future releases. If you're the kind of gamer who keeps every new launch, you'll probably want an external SSD or an additional internal drive down the line. The good news is the Legion T7 has room for extra drives, but you'll need to open the case to add them, which isn't a deal breaker for most pre-built buyers. What about daily usability? The T7's chassis is a full tower with a sleek, brushed metal front and customizable Legion lighting. It's definitely a presence on a desk, so if space is at a premium, say you work in a cramped home office, it might feel a bit imposing. The cooling system uses a dual-fan setup that's decent out of the box, but the i9 can push upwards of 300 W under load. Expect the fans to spin up noticeably during marathon gaming sessions, and you'll hear a low hum that can be audible from across the room. It's not obnoxious, but it's something to keep in mind if you're sensitive to background noise. One hidden trade-off is power consumption. The 14900KF and RTX 4070 Ti Super together can draw well over 500 W when you're pushing both CPU and GPU to the limit. That means you'll need a quality 750W PSU, something Lenovo includes, but it also nudges the overall price higher than a comparable budget build. If you're environmentally conscious or looking to keep your electricity bill low, you'll notice the difference compared to a system that relies on a mid-range i5 and a 3060 Ti. So, who should actually buy this machine? If you're a serious gamer who wants to max out settings without fiddling with overclocks, a streamer who wants hardware that can handle encoding and gameplay simultaneously, or a creator who needs fast renders for video editing, the Legion T7 checks all the boxes. It's also a solid choice if you're not comfortable building a PC yourself. Lenovo handles BIOS updates, driver installations, and the whole warranty process, which can be a relief for people who've had a bad experience with DIY builds. On the flip side, if you're a casual player who mainly sticks to indie titles or older games, the extra cores and high-end GPU are overkill. You could get a much cheaper system that still runs those games flawlessly. Likewise, if you're a DIY enthusiast who enjoys hand-picking each component, you'll probably find better value by buying parts individually, especially when you factor in the potential to upgrade cooling or add more storage without paying a premium for a brand name. Lastly, if you have a small desk or a minimalist aesthetic, the size and the slight fan noise might be a deal breaker. Let's talk value beyond the raw specs. Lenovo bundles its Legion software suite, which includes performance profiles you can toggle with a single click, one for gaming, one for streaming, and another for productivity. The suite also offers real-time temperature monitoring and fan curve adjustments without needing third-party tools. That level of integration saves you time and makes it easier to keep the system stable.